Welcome back. So tonight my guest is Professor Ransford Gyampo, CEO of the Ghana Shippers Authority. Prof, I think a month ago on the City Breakfast Show, when I was discussing the issue of charges by shipping lines, you called into the show to say that you were going to intervene in the FX dispute. Again, what was your understanding of that dispute, and how did that influence what the BOG said, I think, yesterday?
Well, okay, so I think my assistant, I don't know what you have done to him, but he's always listening to City FM in the morning.
Unlike you.
To the point that I've told him that, I mean, why has Bernard bribed you or something? He's sitting here, he's always listening to City. And I said, why?
He clearly has seen something good.
And so and when he's listening,
he forces you to listen.
He forces me to listen.
Give him a raise. It's very important.
So I think we were in the car going to work, and then I heard some people talking, and then I think they were mentioning my name, Ghana Shippers Authority, and my name, that we had to act and all that. So quickly I sent you a text, but I think you couldn't read but why are they talking about us and you're not giving me the opportunity to speak? And then later on when you read it, you said the following day you're going to give me an opportunity. So it was a report that, a complaint that was articulated on your program. In fact, it had not been given to us officially.
Okay.
But it was articulated on your program that even though the government is doing a lot of work to stabilize our currency, such that that would also ultimately lead to the cost, bringing down the cost of doing business, some of the shipping lines are making nonsense of the effort of the government. And so even though you had the CD now to dollar being $1 to 10 cedis, now at that time
it was coming down. Actually, it probably around 10.
Okay,
upwards of 10.
Yeah. But around that time, people were charging 16 to 17 cedis, and so these shippers were complaining. And so when I heard about that complaint, I was a bit also annoyed that, I mean, I believe in the sovereignty of Ghana, and I believe, you see, we have all studied, you studied abroad, and we all went to study abroad, and we've lived abroad before. When we went there, we respected their rules, we respected their laws. But it appears that in our part of the world, we are so hospitable and so friendly to the point that we allow foreigners to come and destroy everything that we have created because they are foreigners. And you see Ghanaians fighting to protect foreigners. It doesn't happen anywhere. And so I've always taken the view that we are in a liberalized economy. Foreigners can come in to do business, but in doing business, they must do so with respect to, they must do so at the same time respecting our laws. So why is it that a government has done all it can to stabilize its currency and then reduce the CD dollar rate, and then you are charging arbitrarily in a manner that makes nonsense of the effort of the government? I was annoyed.
So they were applying a higher rate than the market rate.
And then they were saying that, some of them initially were saying that, well, they are not going by the Bank of Ghana rate, they are going by their own commercial bank's rate. So upon hearing these things, like I said, I commissioned an investigation into it with the view to ascertaining the truth or otherwise of what we were being told. And when we went into it, we realized that it is true that they were using their own commercial bank's rate, but it was also true that if the commercial bank was giving, quoting a dollar of, if you like, 11, they were charging 16 or 17. But the Bank of Ghana rule says if you pick it from your own commercial bank and it's 11, you should charge 11. So with this investigation, we did a report. Having done report, I wrote a petition to the Governor of Bank of Ghana, and he's also a very excellent gentleman. If I see people who have a lot of responsibilities, responding to messages and picking their calls and responding to complaints like that, for me, I get excited. It gives me a lot of hope that Ghana can go places. So first of all, the letter that we wrote, the petition I sent to him on WhatsApp, he acknowledged receipt even long before we sent the hard copy.
Wow.
And then he said that, look, I'm going to work on it. Within a few days, he got back to us and asked that he was going to call a meeting of all stakeholders, including the shipping lines who were charging those arbitrary rates. We went to meet with them, and then the Shippers Authority was made to present its case and the research that we had done and the report of the research. We did that, and that generated a discussion among all stakeholders. And after that, we agreed that given what had happened, BOG had to issue policy directives to explain or to direct what must be done and what must not be done. After that decision was taken, I had to do a lot of follow-ups with BOG. And as for me, by the grace of God, if I set out to do something, I want to carry it to its logical conclusion. And so through constant follow-ups, yesterday afternoon, we had a BOG issuing the policy directives. And I'm told a lot of the shippers are excited and happy about that.
So for the uninitiated, you always have to distinguish between a shipper and a shipping line. So a shipper is who?
It's a trader.
The one whose goods are being brought.
The shipper is the one whose goods are being brought, and those who are assisting the shippers to bring the goods, to send the goods away or to bring the goods down. And the shipping lines are those who own the ships.
So the pricing problem was from the shipping lines to the shippers.
Yes.
And the shippers complained to you.
The shippers complained.
So you regulate both the shippers and the shipping lines.
We are supposed to regulating, we are the arbiters, regulating the interest of the shipping lines and also the shippers. You know, sometimes some shippers also will do what is wrong. They are not supposed to send contraband goods and it will create problems. So we try to also ensure that if things are done by the shippers and they are also not in the interest of the shipping lines, we also would have to deal with the shippers.
So in this case, would a shipper include somebody who sends a parcel through an airline?
It's a shipper. No, so we use shipping generically to simply means the movement of goods from one place to the other.
So
land, sea, and air.
All are.
We are regulating all of them. So if you want to talk about people who are transporting goods from Ghana to Burkina Faso, we are interested in protecting them from armed robbers' attack. We are interested in stopping the sometimes unnecessary road checks. Recently, about 2 months ago, my team and I, we went to visit the IGP, and we went with a complaint that our cargo drivers are complaining that there are too many checkpoints, and then sometimes they are unnecessary, and you know, we don't have evidence, but we are told that every checkpoint that they stand, then some people may be extorting a few guru from them. We complained to the IGP. He told us that he was going to look into it, and then he also explained that the checkpoints, even though may be many, may also be good for the safety and security of
But Prof, so are you saying that if an air freight company sets its price for transporting goods from Germany via air to Accra, they must send the prices to you first?
Just about 3 months ago, they all sent their prices. And they all send their prices, their charges to us. And we did not, they sent prices that were an increment of the previous charges that they were charging. And I wrote to them that under the current arrangement that and the current dispensation that we are in, and within which we are trying to reduce the cost of doing business, I'm unable to approve the increment. And they understood. I think one of them didn't understand. I went there with my team to go hold meetings with them to explain, and they understood. So they are all...
Has this always been the Ghana Shippers Authority's mandate, or is it the new law, the Act 1122?
The previous law was saying you should go negotiate. Okay, and as I indicated earlier, in negotiation you can gain acceptance, but they can also say that they will not listen. But the new act that was passed by the close of 2024 is the one that is now mandating us to say that write to us and let us approve.
Let me read what I see here. Functions of the authority. To achieve the object under Section 2, and the object is to regulate the activities of shippers and shipping service providers with respect to A, service standards, commercial terms and conditions of shipment, the pricing of shipping services, carrier charges, and the resolution of shipping of complaints. And then the functions said to achieve the above, the authority shall A, provide facilities for mutual consultation between shippers, ship owners, carriers, other providers of shipping services, and the agents of carriers. Wow. And then you will regulate commercial shipping activities for the benefits of shippers. So the only difference here is that you don't regulate aircraft, but you regulate commercial shipping lines. But then the aircraft who bring freight, their pricing, their standards is all under you.
Yeah, they cannot just charge anything without...
So how big are you guys? How many staff do you have then?
We have many. We have branches virtually all over the country.
Wow.
And don't forget that Ghana Shippers Authority is 51 years old. And so it's an organization,
it's a massive organization
that has been there. It's almost as old as Ghana. So for 51 years they've existed. It's just that they were doing their work on the quiet. It's only ones, for example, who is loud, and that's how come then now we are so much out there. But they've been in existence for the past 51 years. People have served there. The people I'm working with that I want to meet, some have been there, my managers, some have served for 35 years. Some are there 30 years. So
let me understand, at the airport, when you go to a place like Swissport.
In fact, Swissport was one of those people who wrote to us to ask for upward adjustment in their charges, and we said no.
You're serious?
Yeah.
So even the key terminals at our airports, the subports there,
we have branches. We have branches at all the terminals of our airports. So we have staff working there, and
so Aviance Ghana.
Yes, we went there. We work with them.
Swissport, Aviance,
all of them.
Amazing.
Yes.
And then of course, so what's the relationship with Ghana Airports Company and you guys?
Oh, Ghana Airport Company, I think they are providing the airport facility and managing it, and those who are operating the airlines and all that are operating. So Ghana Airport Company behaves like Gyampo, at the...
In the same... so the relationship with Gyampo is so mutual respect,
mutual,
but
yeah.
If there are issues, you can still intervene.
We sit and talk about it. And when I became CEO, I paid courtesy call on all of them.
Okay. Let me deal with freight forwarders and I'll come back to shipping. I've interviewed freight forwarders a lot. And for them, apart from the issues they complain with and the unfair pricing, they've been complaining a lot about outages of the ICUM system.
ICUMs, yeah.
Have they told you this, and what have you done about it?
They've told us, and we've been talking to those who are in charge. And Bernard, you go there and they tell you that sometimes it's power outage, and sometimes it's machine breakdown. We've written a lot of letters to also complain on behalf of these freight forwarders about the frequent machine breakdowns, and sometimes you are assured that new machines are being installed. And sometimes they tell you that, well, the power system just didn't work. And there's been times that these machine breakdowns and frequent power outages have led to the charge of demurrage. And anytime this was brought to attention, we wrote to explain that this blame must not be borne or must not be put at the doorstep of the shipper. So there's been several letters that we've written to disallow or to protest the charging of demurrage on shippers when especially they did not cause the problem or the delay.
Who charges the demurrage? The port or the shipping line?
The shipping lines.
Because
if you delay,
in the oil industry as well, there was a big discussion by the AOMCs that the demurrage for bringing in their finished product was leading to price escalations within their sector.
Yes, demurrage will definitely impoverish the shipper, and then if he is able to pay, then he must pass it on to the ordinary Ghanaian. But you see, what people must know is that demurrage as a fee, it doesn't come to Ghana. You go to a shipping line and they repatriate it to their country. And so we must all do all we can to ensure that we don't incur them. But sometimes you should also agree that sometimes the fault is not always about machine, it's not always due to machine breakdown. And sometimes the delay is also as a result of the shipper. You know that your goods are coming and you know they will come on Monday. You know the amount of monies you have to pay and all you have to do. Some people will delay up to last minute. You delay up to Thursday, they start the process, you go to Friday, Saturday, Sunday, nobody is working, then Monday comes, and all these things feed into delay. So sometimes the shippers also cause some of these delays, but largely you can say that largely it is not the fault of the shipper. It's as a result of system breakdown and some of the things that are completely out of the control of the shipper.
We'll take a short break. When we come back, we wrap up a few other issues around lack of local shipping lines and the issue of AFTA and the whole conversation about ships that move across our coast belonging not to Africans. We'll deal with that when we come back. Stay with us.